Alright, everybody, and we're back again. Let's see if we can wrap these three up and go ahead and qualify. Again, I do appreciate everyone joining today. Grateful that you've all chosen to spend your Saturday afternoon with me. This is a long one. For those of you on YouTube, this will probably have been broken up into two parts. As of present, we are at a consecutive 3 hours and 38 minutes. So, probably not going on to YouTube like this. Throwing that out there. All right. Okay. We are looking to create a match waiting for Baragoff. Perfect. Excellent. And here is Baragoff with a cat. Fair. Can't keep that one. Can't keep that one either. We're dead. Alright. This... Brainstorm. Super dead. Got it. Good. Great. Q into Turbo Lizards right away. I love it. Excellent. Perfect. Unfortunate. Mold 5, Q into Turbo Lizards with a Bazaar of Baghdad opener. Nice. That's fine. Take 6. Sapphire. Writes down Force of Vigor. Perfect. Step 1, make 2 giant shred. Oh, them getting rid of Wasteland is so good for us. Shaman, sure. Casting Hogak, yes, fine. Okay. No. Fetch. Cast Ruby. We're like very dead. One, two, three, four, five. 5 exactly. Gross. That blood gas in the bin was the thing they needed. Okay. Alright. Leyline. Containment Priest. Tabernacle. Plow. Stoneforge. Fluster. Force of Negation. Merchant Scroll. The question becomes, are we boarding in Leyline? Like, we're supposed to. I feel like we're supposed to. Shave another Stoneforge. We'll think about it from there. This is basically a matchup where if we don't die, we probably win. They can actually beat a Tabby. And then what? Cut like the probe? 8, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, this is fine. On the die roll. Mulls to 5. So the plan with this hand is strip mine, go. Then Tundra and flash in Priest at earliest convenience. Seems right. Okay. Mox Pearl gonna take us the distance over here. Holy shit. I feel like we're in okay shape. Hell yeah, let's go. Sweet. Okay. I think I still like this. I just need to find a ley line. Root Walla, sure. Lotus. Collect Roof, sure. Another Bazaar. Gross. Gak, sure. Yeah. The way opponent's playing, Tabernacle should be in my deck. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're dead. We're very dead. Nice. Well, okay. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. So we need to win the next 5 in a row. So I guess we're going to play a handful more and see what happens. Looking for Reapers. Yeah, and it's possible that last hand I was supposed to mulligan a little deeper to get to some piece of actual hate. It's almost 100% that I was supposed to mulligan deeper to get to some piece of actual hate. But I did not. And as such, we lost. 'Tis unfortunate. We're just going to turbo out 2 Stoneforges here. I wish this was a blue card. I mean, sure, I guess? What in the world is going on in Magic Gathering right now? Opponent just, like, queued into a vintage queue with Cloud Post. Sick. Okay, how do we beat Cloud Post? If opponent is doing what I expect them to be doing. Tell you what. I think the Force of Negation is almost always better than Flusterstorm, so we can make that swap. Beyond that, like, my thought is that they're going to be playing a functionally equivalent green post. So my intent is to board in Plow, Containment Priest. But I guess I'll wait till I see it. I don't think there's any world in which we can keep, like, super fair slow hands here. Sure, this has Wasteland, Probe, sure. Cat, understood. It's another temple. Opponent was very upset in chat. Wasteland. Strip mine. Force of will. Cool. Great. Yeah, like, that was one of those matches where we have to stop them from setting up. So... like, if they don't set up, we win the game. Sweet. Alright, 4 more. My deck, still ready. I mean, I love that the new trend in Vintage is just, like, queuing with what are functionally powered-up Legacy decks. Our last opponent went one step deeper and, like, mashed their Modern deck into their Legacy deck. What a wild and crazy party. Like, they were playing Tron lands, and Posts, and Eldrazi lands. Some people are having way more fun than I am. That's not true. I love this deck. This has been rad. Again, I appreciate everyone hanging out today. If you are out and about doing RCQ things, good luck today. If you are watching this after and did RCQ things, I hope you did well, and I hope you had a good time. That's the important part. I hope you had a good time. I hope you did exactly as well as you needed to enjoy your experience at the RCQ. I think too often Magic players tie their enjoyment of the game to their win rate, and I think that that is a mistake. I'm not doing particularly well today. I'm doing fine, but I'm having a great time, and the format is enjoyable. That's what's really important. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 and 6. I mean, that's more than 50%. I'm into that life. Waiting for Mr. Torg. Oh. System will account for that. Opponent did it backwards, but that's okay. I will play first. I'll keep. Opponent mulliganing to 6. Is it another Bazaar deck? Scalding Tarn, fetch. Island, Preordain. We're now hedging for it to be a Bazaar deck. It is not a Bazaar. Well, I mean, it still could be a Bazaar deck, but... Underground Sea. Deathrite Shaman, sure. Basic plans. Blah. I have a sneaking suspicion opponent is playing Bug. I will fluster. I will not shuffle. I will take this Stoneforge. That seems fine. We'll grab our Stoneforge. Get our Cauldra. Have another removal spell. All of these things seem very good. Time Walk. Sure. Tutor, sure. Deathrite, sure. We had a black floating. I don't know why we tapped a land for that, but... Yeah, I'm gonna plow this. Sure. Deal. I did kind of the same plan here. I'm going to cut one of the Stoneforges. I really do think opponent is bugged. And the reason that I got rid of that death rate is because it was their green source. So I'm going to be boarding as if they are bug. Oh, maybe the answer is just to not have force negation. That's wrong. I want the force negations to fight over stuff like Okos. I keep thinking to myself, like, what do I want to try to... How do I want to fight this battle? And the thing is that I want to fight this battle in such a fashion that the most important card in the matchup is Oko, and that I have the most possible answers to that card. Yeah. Seems great. Keep. Sure. Sure. Who's this by? Goodbye. Cap. Opponent failed to find off Narset. Holy wow. That's so good for me. I will. I'll show you call draw. Decay. Sure. That's fine. Oh. That was almost bad. Yup. Okay. Collector Roof, sure. Mox, sure. I'm debating on whether or not I'm supposed to be firing off these preordains. Like, I would like to just start scrying. Endurance? Opposition agent, okay. That's relevant. Bottom. Bottom. We're looking for a threat. Okay. Sylvan Library, sure. Fire these off again. There's an argument there to instead of preordaining Brainstorm on my opponent's turn, draw one, put back Cauldra, and yeah, that's a conversation to be had. This is going to protect us from Force of Negation if that's a card that an opponent has. Apparently not. That's good. This is another spot where I really, really, really wish that we had access to something like a prismatic ending. I see. Strip mine, right. Cool. guess opponent tutored, so they don't know the top right now. It's fresh for them. Sure. I got rid of Cauldra, which is good for me. There's another blue source that I can't strip mine them out of. Leovold. Sure. Pretty irrelevant at this point, but okay. Force of Negation, welcome to the party. You're a little late. Okay, sure, sure, sure. Make a food, yes. We're gonna die because we didn't have a second blue source for this Force of Negation. That's very good. Come on. Sure. Wild and crazy ride. Opponent boarded in Energy Flux against us. Mentor. We can still win this game, but our odds are very low. I can't imagine an opponent has that many more Abrupt Decays. So basically, we're just on, like, play creature, equip creature with Sword of Fire and Ice. I don't know why opponent isn't plussing in their food. Tarmogoyf, very good. Sure. Yep. Yikes. Okay. And, like, I don't by any stretch of the imagination think that's a normal way that that game plays out, but sure. Okay. I don't think I want any changes. I think I just want to run this back and we played the weirdest game on the planet. It's not good enough. One mulls to 5. I need this first preordained to find me a threat. That's about where we're at. Or an ancestral recall. Basic Island. Preordain. I accept. Play Lotus. Play Tundra. Cast Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. Get Cauldra. Deal. I will not. Nope. Take another plow. These all seem very good for me. Opponent paying for their tabernacle while I'm not. This is delightful. Sick. Cool. Opponent's Tabernacle killed them. This is delightful. Cool. Alright, well, there's another one in the bag. Only 3 more to go. Win this next 3, everything's perfect. On to the next one. So, like, for the sake of full disclosure here, like, the odds that I would play this list at the, like, if you were somebody watching this going, well, I qualified, maybe I'll play that deck. Don't. I would not advise playing this deck at the Swiss and top 8 of this ManaTraders series. This deck is a lot of fun. I am playing it because it is fun. I'm not playing it because I think it is a particularly powerful attack on the meta. I'm not playing it because I think that it is busted. I'm playing it because I like casting Stoneforge Mystic. That's where we're at. Ooh, cool Ducat out here jamming. But, like, I think this deck is good, and I think that with a whole bunch of time and tuning, like, you could tailor this deck to absolutely, like, hate on the meta. Like, you could absolutely, like, again, I've said, I think that Lavinia would be a very good Magic card in this deck. I think the 4th Stoneforge Mystic is kind of a joke. I don't think that Stoneforge Mystic number 4 is kind of a terrible card, especially when you only have 2 weapons and as many ways to draw cards as we do here. So I would much rather have, like, yeah, a Lavinia, 2nd Hull Breacher alongside the Narset in this list. Again, something like a Prismatic Ending to deal with Pithing Needles and stupid, like Renin 6, Oko, that kind of thing. All of these things would be good. Beyond that, like, I think that a lot of your deck is already pretty decent. I think that, like, this deck contains a lot of good Magic the Gathering cards. And a lot of vintage caliber Magic Gathering cards. Again, your whole vintage blue suite, very, very good. Mentor, like, restricted, obviously good. I think the Plow is, like, pretty well positioned right now. Stoneforge is, like, a choice. Like, Stoneforge, Sword of Fire, and Ice Culture Complete, this is a choice that you make. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's, like, absolutely insane. I'm quickly falling out of love with Merchant Scroll. I think that Merchant Scroll could be something better. Like, I would almost rather play Mystical than Merchant Scroll, just because it's more mana efficient. I wouldn't hate having a 2nd island, truth be told. We have had enough matchups in this series of qualifiers where our opponent is actively attacking our mana with Wasteland, where I wouldn't have hated having Island Plains. Just to be able to cast, like, all of my most relevant spells off of mono basics would have been incredible. You know, against Bug, right? Just being able to go, like, Mentor off of all basics into a bunch of Moxes. Waiting for Double Wave. What happened to Single Wave? We will play first. Sure. people casting their Once Upon a Times the weirdest moments. Thespian Stage. Okay, so opponent is some sort of land stack. Sure. Oliver's Reclaimer. Sure. Mox. Okay. Okay. Resolves, good. Get Cauldra. Stage Sylvan Safekeeper. And the game plan here is just to not cast a spell the rest of this game. We're just going to hold up Strip Mine, double Wasteland. And Fluster should we need it. That's Lotus. Yup. That's fine. Dark Depths, sure. Okay. Rotation is fine. Yeah, opponent, you needed to rotate for that in your end step. Hey, let's go. Okay. I want plow. I want dress down. Stoneforge. Fluster's Farm seems of questionable value. Maybe I want Fluster's Force of Negation more than I want Fluster. I want Dress Down here because Dress Down actually makes Merit Lage something like that we can block with basically anything. We can also use Dress Down to shut off Safekeeper, which feels great. Leyline also plays here, but I don't know that that's the life we want to be living. I think I will consider more once I see what the rest of my opponent's deck does. I know that they have some number of... This is hot fire. Pithing Needle Name Wasteland. Sure thing. Cast Lotus. Blue, blue, blue. Narset. Down. Probe. Probe you for life. Okay. We're just trying to turbo out 2020s here. I understand. Stage, sure. Scrying. Scrying resolves. Getting Dark Depths, sure thing. So opponent is just playing what is functionally Legacy Turbo Depths. Also, since opponent did the thing, I don't really need to worry about this. Activate. Dress down. Tap for blue. Cast a Ledger Shredder. Sure. Tundra. Ancestral me? Mox. Bin Cauldra. Cast Time Walk. Grab the Tundra. Cast Preordain. Flooded Strand, Cauldron Complete, Strand, Lotus, Probe, Preordain. Get rid of Preordain. Plow. Cast our Stoneforge. Stoneforge is... Oh, okay. Opponent's just done with us. Yeah, it was cast Stoneforge, go get sort of Fire and Ice, and then start drawing cards with Ledger Shredder on top of it. Sweet. I love it. Alright, so we're bullying all of the legacy decks that are showing up in the vintage queues. 2 more matches. You got it. We're looking for Scavenging Booze. That's an incredible name. I'm here for it. Gonna tell our opponent they have the best name on MTGO, hands down. Jesus. Narset. Second Force, I guess. R. This is gonna kill us. Draw Wasteland, play Wasteland, say go. Keep our Wasteland in play because we need it to cast Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, come on. I can't let this Ancestral resolve. We're already so far behind. Yep, we're dead. Nope, we're not paying. Opponent fetches in our end step. In their end step. Hull Breacher, sure thing. So I grabbed the sword there because I don't think this Stoneforge lives for very long. Not given as many cards his opponent has drawn. That's unfortunate. Land? Yikes. Okay. This vamp is so bad. Sure. I have a sneaking suspicion opponent vamp for Time Walk. Yep. That's very bad. And I couldn't let them vamp for Time Walk with a Saga in play or we were so dead. Okay. Okay. That's great. Oh, this is so bad. It just keeps getting worse. Second Hull Breacher, very, very bad. Gross. Okay. I have a suspicion that opponent is some flavor of Grixis Tincture. The question is, do I think that they are also on Breach? I think I need answers to Hull Breacher. If I think they're on Breach, we need Leyline. If I don't think they're on Breach, we can ignore that. I think we're gonna go like that. I could be super wrong. Yep. Oh, we were definitely supposed to have dress down. We saw Saga. Gross. Delta fetch. Mox, sure. Ponder, fine. Ponder. Okay. Soul Ring, sure. I think I'm fine with this. Merchant Scroll, sure. For Ancestral. They're gonna fluster. And that was the reason to not jam Stoneforge there. Top, sure. Spin top. Sure. One spins top, y'all. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose this game because I forgot to board and dress down. Yikes. That's very bad. Sure. Weird. Okay. Brainstorm, sure. Vampiric Tutor, sure. Draw with top. Alt. Yikes. So we needed to hit the tutor. Uh-oh. Well, okay. I think that's us toast, but... Nope, we can still get in with one more win. We can still get in with one more win to 20. So I guess let's fire that off and see what happens. Again, I appreciate everyone hanging out this afternoon. It's great that you all could be here and watch me completely flounder around with this pile. I think this deck is sweet. Again, it's not busted. It's not something I would recommend to any random human, but like, if you enjoy Vintage and you enjoy Stoneforge Mystic, like, this deck is cool. It's not busted. It's, you know, probably not going to win anybody any major, you know, it's probably not going to win the ManaTraders Series or anything crazy, but the deck is sick. It's so much fun. So, we'll fire off this one more here and, see what happens. Oh. Okay. We're at that point in the bracket where apparently we're impossible to queue again. But that's okay. I mean, I guess that happens when you've been playing for 5 hours, too. Not everyone spends 5 hours of their day just sitting here playing Vintage. I think more people should, but not everyone does. Yeah, I think that last game, I think that changes entirely if I don't waste Underground Sea. I think that if I save them for Sagas, knowing that I didn't board in Dressstone like an idiot, then I think that we're in a much better position. But instead I fired it off trying to strand them off of black for things like Tutor, and by doing so, I ended up dying to... Well, I ended up having to spend a lot more resources on Saga-related shenanigans. I also think it's possible that since opponents, like, playing as aggressive as they are, I'm just supposed to slow down and not try to be the tempo deck. Just sit there and jam my threats eventually, knowing that once I get a Stoneforge in and a Cauldron into play, that we're probably just fine. Oh. I see quite a few people in here quite a few names I don't normally recognize. I appreciate you all stopping by. For those of you who are new to the channel, hello, welcome. My name is Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan. In this channel we play mostly Eternal Magic. That means things like Legacy, Vintage, Pauper. Today we are playing Vintage Stoneblade, featuring Ledger Shredder. And as I said a few minutes ago, deck's been sweet. I don't think it's absurd, like absolutely busted or anything crazy, but it's a lot of fun. I do see some names out there I recognize. Terry, Tom, hello. Good to see you out hanging out today. Also, for anyone who hasn't been following all day, we've queued into Goblins like 4 or 5 times, and Hogak. So, like, that's exciting. So today has just been like turbo lizards and tiny red creatures all day. We've hit into Bug, Bant, a couple of the like 4 or 5 color Planeswalker piles, but it has been a lot of goblins and a lot of Gak. Which I said earlier, I think a lot of times, Goblins, I think, is people who play a lot of Vintage, or at least play some Vintage, and have seen the recent innovations on that deck, and are kind of intrigued. And I think that Gak is a lot of people who maybe don't necessarily play the format on a regular basis, but want to dive in and want something that isn't such a huge skill ceiling. Like, a lot of times playing a deck like Gak, you're just going to run your opponent over, and they're not going to be able to do much about it. So, and you don't have to think too hard about, like, the, 9 turns down the road. So, I think you end up seeing a lot of that kind of stuff. Legacy's kind of the same way. That's another thing. We've queued into people like playing functional basic just Legacy decks. We queued into Turbo Depths. We queued into Eldrazi, Tron Post. Just like big colorless mana deck. That opponent got very upset. That opponent got upset when it was just like Wasteland, Strip Mine, Force of Will your Soul Ring. I knew that if we shut that opponent out and they weren't able to set up, we probably won that game. And it seems like they agreed. Alright. Yeah, the queues definitely look like they're slowing down. Looks like maybe everybody popped off for dinner. Which sounds like a good plan. Should probably do that here in the near future. We'll play this one more here, and then that will probably be it for me for the day. We've been doing this for a little over 5 hours. So if you are catching this on YouTube and didn't start at the... I have labeled the one from last night Part 1. This will probably be broken into Part 2 and Part 3, just to make it a little more digestible. Possibly even Part 4, depending on how long this next match goes. Because I have noticed that people don't often tend to want to watch 2, 3, 4 hour videos on YouTube. Apparently that's just a me thing. So I will try to make it more digestible segments for everyone. Alright. I see a few more popping in. Hello, welcome. I'm Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we are here playing some vintage Stoneblade. We are currently looking for Shandoid. And Shandoid found us. Delightful. We will play first. Actual factual dredge. Let's go. Oh, maybe it's not actual dredge. Because I see... I think it's just 8 Walla. Or Turbo Lizards. Bazaar of Baghdad, sure, fine, great. Okay. That's a hollow one, sure. Chalice on 0, that doesn't matter. I'll put this Cauldron in. So for anyone who isn't aware, Master of Death functions a lot like Squee, Goblin to Bob, but the big difference there being that Master of Death is blue and can pitch to all of the force effects that the Bazaar decks now tend to play. I would love to see opponent try to force a vigor this. Our opponent did it. One of our opponents did it a couple rounds ago and got real sad. That's way better than anything else I was going to do. I guess we can Ancestral now. Sick. Hello, Leyline. Hello, Tabernacle. Hello, Containment Priest. Goodbye, Force of Negation. Goodbye, Force of Will. Strand. Gaia's Cradle. So they are later on lands. Take Fluster. Pump Misstep. Stoneforge. Stoneforge? Sure. So, historically, this has been how a lot of these blue players will board against Dredge, where you cut your Force of Wills for Flusterstorms because they don't play that many mana sources. So Fluster is usually a hard counter. It does require you to play a little differently. Opponent has to figure out how they're boarding against Stoneblade. I'm trying to figure out if I want to cut... Why did cut Mental Misstep? Good. I'm not a complete idiot. The biggest thing in this is you want a density of cards that hate out Dredge. So, like, I would love to start the game with, like, Leyline, Mox, Land, Fluster. We're keeping. Opponent has mulled to 6. Opponent pitches with Serum Powder. Powders again. Double Root Walla, sure. We can beat 2 lizards. hollow one, sure. So I really just want to find another mana source here. Preordain. If this gets wastelanded, I will be sad. Grab Cauldra. Opponent's just gonna deck themselves with Bazaar for me. This is fantastic. We're just gonna sit here and wait as opponent mills themselves with Bazaar, looking for getting rid of all of their cards, looking for Force of Vigor. That sure doesn't matter. They have evoked a Fury. Sure. What I probably should have done there, instead of slamming Stoneforge is actually get Hull Breacher into play, so that if they activate Bazaar, I get more mana. That would have probably been much better. That's actually incredible. We may just die to all this stuff. Cast Black Lotus. Three, four, five, six, seven. We can literally tap out here for Cauldra. We block 2 red lizards. Merchant Scroll. Get Ancestral Recall. Fetch land that doesn't do anything, that's great. Ponder. None of these actually do anything? Sure. Great. We're literally stone dead to Fury plus red card. Tundra on top, Sword on top, play Mox. This actually lets us pull ahead. Opponent says, well played in chat. It's like, UT, that was tight. Good grief. Sweet. Sweet. Cool. So, well, everybody, by the skin of our teeth, we've qualified for the Swiss rounds. So sure enough, last weekend of the month, we'll be back playing the Vintage ManaTraders Swiss rounds. Send by blank, thank you. This is your fault. You did this. You absolutely did this. This is entirely your fault, and I appreciate it. So, hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and today we have been playing some Vintage, specifically some Vintage Stoneblade. The backstory here, for those who do not follow the channel regularly, I am an avid Legacy player, for the most part, and as an avid Legacy player, I am known locally for playing Tundra.deck. That means Stoneblade, Miracles, whatever. That's what I'm known for. So, when I saw Senpai Blank's list in the dumps last week, yeah. So, definitely your fault. I saw this list in the dumps and went, rad. So last night we were playing your exact 75. I did switch the Hull Breacher for the Narset for the rounds that I started this morning. I think I like the Narset better because it does replace itself. I will say, since you're already here in chat, thoughts on something like Prismatic Ending. I had a pretty severe problem against the like 4 to 5 color walkers deck that was just like Ren and 6 into Oko into kill you. That was pretty atrocious. That's fair. So I have been wanting some number of something like Prismatic Ending, just as a way to answer like opposing planeswalkers, or I also had an opponent Pithing Needle my Stoneforge Mystic, and I had an opponent, so I sat there with equipment in hand and just had to kind of like try to fight around it, which was not incredible. I think that if I had a way in the deck to answer that needle and drop the Cauldron into play, they were just dead. So I've really been like, I kind of want something to the effect of Prismatic Ending or EE or something like that. I'm just not sure where it goes. I've been pretty unimpressed with 4th Stoneforge. That's fair. I've been pretty unimpressed with 4th Stoneforge. I think I boarded out 4th Stoneforge basically all day. With 2 weapons, like, half the time Stoneforge is just sitting there as a 1-2 doing a whole lot of nothing, which is fine, but not incredible. Personally, I'm not in love with Merchant Scroll. This card is fine, and it, like, tutored for Ancestral Recall this last game and was spectacular. I don't love it. That's fair. Ending will deal with Oko some of the time, because of all the off-color moxes. Oh, that's fair. I'll board out the 4th one a lot. I will board out the 3rd one against, like, the Turbo Lizards decks, because I just want so much of this board. Like, I want Priest, Plow... Oh, okay. See, and that's fair. I have been leaving Shredder as a respect for the blue count, and because it is both a threat that can scale up to beat something like a Hollow one, and it is card selection. So I think that that's just a matter of you and I looking at Shredder differently, but I entirely understand where you're coming from. With Stoneforge being the core of the deck, leave that. Oh, that would be dope, actually. If you have that, I don't know if you would prefer to post it here or DM me on Twitter or whatever. However you want is fine. I would love to see that primer. Just mostly to see where your headspace is at. Because I think that this list is sick. But I felt all day, that works. Thank you. I think this list is sick, but I think that I have been looking at it differently. And I felt that way since I started fumbling with it last night. So I'm curious to see. So, like, Bizarre Baghdad decks. We're taking out Flusters. Minus Force Negation. Oh, you're cutting Sword of Fire Ice. Okay. Minus Probe. That I get. Minus 1 Shredder. See, I love leaving in Hull Breacher against the Bizarre decks. Because the mana we get off of Hull Breacher into Bizarre activation kind of lets us recoup some of the tempo we lose to their, like, hot Bizarre draws. But I absolutely understand the logic there. Like, it is of pretty minimal quality overall. Plus Leylines, plus Tabernacle, plus Priests, plus Plow. Yeah, so we're boarding in the same things. We're just boarding out differently. Dredge, you're cutting 2 Shredder, 2 Hull Breacher, minus Dig. Oh, sure. Sure. That's totally fair. Minus Dredge, minus 2 Shredder, minus 2 Breacher, minus Dig, minus Force, minus Misstep, minus Probe, minus Scroll, minus SoFi, plus 2 Plow, plus 1 Fluster. So you're leaving in your forces against Dredge, too. That's cool. I get it. I just... not something I would have thought about intuitively. And then Hollow... so we just queued against Hollowvine with the Master of the Dead stuff. And you're... okay, there you're cutting your forces. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to read through this at a later point because, yeah, you and I are looking at this very differently, and I think that that's probably why it took me so long to qualify, because I've absolutely been looking at this in a very different situation than you have. So that's really cool. But dude, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, the list has been sweet. I think that this is a lot of fun, and this is rad. Like, big fan. So, thank you for dropping in. Thank you for the raid. So if you are just joining off of Senpai Blank's raid, again, hello, I am Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan. On this channel, we're playing a ton of Eternal Magic. Today, we were playing Blue-White Birdblade. Thank you, Senpai Blank. Later. So, we were playing Birdblade, and it took us 20 matches, but we qualified. And I think that now, seeing that primer, I really think that it's we were taking very different approaches to the same list. And so I think that a lot of what Senpai Blank there is doing makes sense. It's just not things I would have thought about from all of the other vintage lists I've played. So, right on. But alright, again, that is it for me for today, everyone. We've been at this for just under 6 hours. So, I'm gonna go grab some food. But yeah, I will be back next week, and then if you are a fan of Vintage, we will be playing the ManaTraders Swiss rounds at the end of the month. So, I know the last time I played, I streamed it. So I will probably stream it again. If not, for some reason, it will be recorded and posted on my YouTube. If you are now checking this out, my YouTube is also listed in the Twitch bio down below. I post most of the leagues that I run on my YouTube as well. I try not to cut too much, so that way you can kind of see the thought processes as well. So, yeah, very cool. Thank you for stopping in, everybody. You are all greatly appreciated. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.